Hello, welcome to my channel. I am Karen Sawyer coming with another organic column tutorial. Now, if you haven't watched the other one, I'll leave a link here, there, wherever on the screen so you can go back and watch that simplistic organic column. On that one, we created the structure, the foundation with quads individually placed on the framework. With this one, we actually did an organic garland and then attached the organic garland to the framework. Now with this one, we did a little bit more intricacy with it, so you have a little bit more depth. And also the framework on this one actually angles upward. So we call this our shooting star frame. And typically we place a star at the end. Now I didn't do a star on this particular tutorial. However, at the end, I will include some photos to show you what it would look like with the star, the shooting star in the end. All right, let's get started. So here you will see that I have taken my 11-inch and 16-inch balloons and have inflated them to different sizes. Now, when you go ahead and pull these duplets into each other, you're going to want to be sure that you have areas that are able to easily stack. So you will see that I counted out 4. So it's no different than doing a column. So you will find that it's easier if you stack 4 on top of the next 4, etc. And I'm simply taking the tail of the balloon and tying it into the other set of cluster balloons. So what I'm doing is, you're going to find it very challenging. I'm tying the nozzles together. Now I'm telling you, because I'm dealing with a big garland, it was a little awkward, but it can be done. And you'll see right there where the nozzles are tied together. Now I'm putting this garland on a frame. We call this our shooting star frame. So it is a piece of EMT. And you'll see that I protected the end of the EMT with an 11-inch latex balloon so it doesn't pop my garland when I put it onto the EMT. So all I'm doing is sliding the garland in between that pole. So just take your time here, because you want it to be very secure. And then once you get it on there, you're going to go ahead and lock it. Okay, now it's up to you. You can just go ahead and twist your 11-inch balloons onto the garland, or once you get it in there, you got it nestled, you could take a flattened 260 and tie it on by pulling it in between the clusters. So that is a personal choice. Okay, so it's very secure when you're using that framework, because when you do a garland this way, meaning I'm tying the nozzles together and I'm not stringing it with either monofilament or a flattened 260 or even curling ribbon, when you don't do that, it's not structurally sound, especially if it was outside, because if one of those balloons where you tied those nozzles come apart, your whole garland is going to fall apart. So given that I'm using the framework here, it's going to be very secure. But note, if you use this method and you're not using a framework, you really want to reinforce this garland with either, again, a flattened 260, your monofilament, or curling ribbon. Okay, so I'm just going ahead and making sure everything is locked and it's nice and secure. Okay, so now I have my foundation that is just your base. And now we're going to go ahead and start adding in all of our fillers because we want to hide all of our framework, all of your mechanics where you see the balloons are tied together and the pole. We're going to conceal all of that with our fillers. And then my fillers are a combination of 5-inch rounds as well as 11-inch. You can do 9-inch. You can do whatever you choose. You are the designer. So what I have here are 2 clusters of quads, and you don't have to do quads. You could do quints. Again, you're the designers, whatever you decide to do. So here I'm going with, I have normally 2 sets. I have my larger sets, which again are in my 11-inch. It could be in 16-inch. It could be also 9-inch. It could be 7-inch. And then I'll do my smaller clusters in 5-inch. So here I start with the biggest fillers first. It wouldn't make sense to start with the smaller ones because then you're going to just cover it all up once you put the larger ones. So here I'm going ahead and concealing anything that I see, such as the pole and any place that I have tied those balloons together. So that's the purpose of this filler, is to hide all my mechanics as well as to give us some dimension and some depth. Okay. Now I'm done with the bigger fillers, so now I'm starting with my smaller clusters, which happen to be 5-inch rounds. And I'm going to go ahead and find any other areas where I see any type of holes. And again, this is just to add some interest, and it really makes it organic. So if you were wondering how I had the clusters attached to each other, I've used a flattened 260, and you can either simply tie it as I'm showing here and tie it to both clusters, or you can go ahead and loop it like a rubber band and you'll slip it around the clusters. You'll see momentarily. Now make sure, because this is color blocked, that you don't lose your color, meaning you don't want to put too much of one color and it's hiding the other color. So I'm going back and making sure I haven't lost some of my color. So an example, that lavender color, I didn't want it to overpower the pink and you didn't see that it was pink. So make sure you go back and you take a look as you're going ahead and putting in these fillers, that some of your sections do not get lost and overpowered by the color that's next to it. Now stand back and take a look at your creation. I see a hole there. I don't like that because it looks like it's not attached. So it's just a personal design choice. So I went back and filled that in. So it does look like it's attached. So I'm pleased with that. Always go stand back and take a look. Also take pictures and video and take a look at it, because you will see something. I promise you, you will see something in your video or your picture that you didn't see with the naked eye. Okay, so now I'm being very picky, but I see a little hole. Like when I call it a hole, it's because I can see through my structure, my sculpture. So I'm just going to go back and fill in those little areas. Is anyone else going to notice that? Probably not, but you know, I had time on my hands, so I decided to go and fill in those little areas, and it just took one little cluster of yellow and one little cluster of pink, and I loved the results of that. So you're just adding your little finishing touches if time permits, okay? If time doesn't permit, then you're finished. And as promised, here is what it looks like when I add the star, the shooting star. Thank you for watching.